Hello. So we are going to analyze the news for today. Okay. So the very first news we are going to analyze today. আজি প্ৰথম যেটো news আমি analyze কৰিব গৈ আছো হেতু হৈছে yesterday the cabinet of Assam or Assam cabinet formed the SOP how to implement the immigration expulsion from Assam Act 1950. Okay. So Assam cabinet formed the SOP. SOP জানা no? Standard operating procedure. That means a procedure which is, obeyed by all. SOP for the expulsion of illegal migrants under immigrants expulsion from Assam Act 1950. Okay, so illegal expulsion from Assam Act 1950. Under this act, how the government will expel this illegal migrant takane eta SOP thik koi dile yesterday Assam cabinet. According to the SOP, the district commissioner of every district are now empowered to expel any person whom the DC has think that he is a doubtful person or he is a foreigner. ঠিক আছে তে SOP টো কি দিছে district commissioner, that means DC of every district is now empowered to expel any person from the district whom he think he is a foreigner, but with a process. Okay, the process to give. Now, when the DC think that the person he is a doubtful person or a foreigner, then he send a notice giving 10 days time to the specific person or to the particular person, to prove his citizenship. Okay, that means যিজন ডিসি হব, যিজন উপায়ুক্ত হব, তেখেতে এটা 10 দিনৰ এটা সময় দিব সেই মানুহজনক থৈ নোটিস এখন নোটিস দি পেলাই 10 দিনৰ টাইম দিব আৰু 10 দিনৰ টাইমটোত সেই পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ মানুহজনে তেখেত যে ইণ্ডিয়াৰ সিটিজেন্স হয় সেই বস্তুটো প্ৰুভ কৰিব লাগিব. Now if the person fail to prove his citizenship, then now the DC is empowered to send him back. Okay, তাক সেন্ড কৰিব কাৰণে ডিসিজন এম্পাৱাৰ্ড থাকিব. এটা সেন্ড কেনেকৈ কৰিব? ফাৰ্ষ্ট যেতিয়া তেওঁ 10 দিনৰ যিটো মাহলত দিছিলে the time which is 10 days, তেন্তে প্ৰুভ কৰিব নোৱাৰিব. Then the person is detained or captured or hold in holding center. যিটো হোল্ডিং চেণ্টাৰ থাকিব সেই হোল্ডিং চেণ্টাৰত সেই মানুহজনক হোল্ড কৰি ৰাখি থৈ দিব. ঠিক আছে, or kept in the holding center, and then this person is given to the BSF, that means border security force, to expel him from the country. ঠিক আছে, তেওঁ প্ৰথম হোল্ডিং চেণ্টাৰ ৰাখি থব, হোল্ডিং চেণ্টাৰ ৰাখি পেলাই তেখেতক BSF হাতত গতাই দিব. Then he is given to the BSF, and then BSF is empowered to send him back to his original nation, whatever the country from where he came. The BSF empowered তেওঁ তালে পঠিয়াই দিব কাৰণে. ঠিক আছে, so এইটো SOP বনাই দিলে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে. At the same time, government also gives some provision for the DC. That means if the DC is confused whether the person is in question is a Indian citizen or not, that means the DC is now in a confusing state to determine whether he is an Indian citizen or someone else which is not an Indian citizens and came to Assam or came to India with some illegalities. Okay, that means there is an illegal migrant হয় নহয় যদি সেইটো তেওঁ এষ্টাবলিছ কৰা ডিচিজনৰ কনফিউজন থাকে তেতিয়া তেওঁ সেই পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ মানুহজনৰ কেছটো কেছটো ফৰেনাৰ ট্ৰিবিউনলৈ পঠিয়াই দিব পাৰে ফৰেনাৰ tribunals send কৰিব পাৰে and the foreigner tribunals will determine whether this man is an Indian citizen or an illegal migrant ঠিক আছে এখিনিলৈকে ঠিক আছে foreigners tribunal পঠিয়াই দিব এটা foreigners tribunal কি হয় the foreigners tribunal আমি জানো tribunal means a quasi judicial body means it is not a judicial body but have some power that means given to the body to specific purpose of কাৰণে বনোৱা হয় that তোমাৰ স্পেচিফিক পাৱাৰ কিছুমান দিয়া হয় স্পেচিফিক পাৰপাস টু ফুলফিল কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কৰা হয় ঠিক আছে তো তেনেকুৱা এটা বডি হৈছে ফৰেনাৰ বডি হুইচ ইজ এ কোৱাসি জুডিচিয়েল বডি ঠিক আছে ইয়াক কোনখন এক্টৰ আন্ডাৰত বনোৱা হৈছিলে ইট ওয়াজ সেট আন্ডাৰ দ্য এক্ট কল ফৰেনাৰ্ছ এক্ট 1946 The foreigners tribunals are formed through foreigners tribunals order 1964 under Foreigners Act 1946 that means foreigners act এখন 1946 আছে তাৰ আন্ডাৰ এটা অৰ্ডাৰ দানিবলৈ foreigner tribunals order বুলি 1964 এই foreigner tribunals to organize কৰা হৈছিল establish কৰা হৈছিল ঠিক আছে এটা বহুত ইন্টাৰেষ্টিং কথা আছে কি যে foreigners tribunal to all over India আমি পাতিব পাৰো it is it can be set up in anywhere in India but practically the foreigners tribunal is only present in Assam there is nowhere in the country where the foreigners tribunals are present. That means foreigner tribunals are only present in Assam. And the other part of the country, all the matter related with the citizenship or illegal migrants or such types of things are dealt by the civil code. Civil code আছে civil code গুটে other part of the country except Assam deal করে ঠিক আছে the matter related with the illegal migrants or something else okay India except Assam ঠিক আছে আৰু আসামত ফৰেনাৰ ট্ৰিবিউনালছে ডিল কৰে তে আসামতো ফৰেনাৰ ট্ৰিবিউনালছখন কি এষ্টাব্লিছ কৰিব লগা হ'ল বিকজ উই অল নো that Assam face historically the illegal migrant problems হয় না there are many movements started in Assam due to resolve these illegal migrant problems politically okay but like Assam agitation or such other things okay and it is a political matter political issue remain in Assam from the time of independence because illegal migrants from earlier Pakistan or earlier East Pakistan and that nowadays Bangladesh is heavily poured to Assam okay it is a বহুত ডাঙৰ political matter Assam ৰখি গৈছিল ঠিক আছে এই এসওপি যিখন কালি আসাম কেবিনেটে দিছে তাত আৰু এটা প্ৰভিজন দিছে প্ৰভিজনটো কি দিছে যে if the person who are illegally migrated to Assam and is captured within 24 hours of his entry ঠিক আছে if the illegal migrants entered Assam and captured within 24 hours of his entry then no notice for his expulsion is needed ঠিক আছে তাৰ মানে কি কৈছে আমি দেখি পালো এসওপিটোত এটা পালো এইটো ঠিক আছে এই গোটেই এসওপিটো আমি চাও ডিসি এম্পাৱাৰ কৈছে ডিসি is now empowered for the expulsion of illegal migrants by illegal foreigners first of all DC is now empowered DC keneke tumalok expel koribo DC will give a notice with 10 days time 10 days timer এটা notice দিব ঠিক আছে and within these 10 days the person in question ঠিক আছে has to prove his citizenship the questionable person but concerned person whatever you write person has to prove his citizenship has to prove his citizenship okay if the person is failed to prove his citizenship then the DC hold him in the holding center for the first time and then gave this person to the BSF and BSF ultimately sent back to his original nation or his host country or his parent country ঠিক আছে so it is the very first news we have discussed okay very important news whether in political situation or for economic or socio-cultural perspective of Assam very important news okay then the next news for the today is we have already discussed in yesterday also that Nepal has seen one of the fiercest or protests in their history okay Nepal faced or experienced powerful protests from Gen Z or the youth. Yesterday we discussed that the main, reason of starting this protest is to ban the 26 social media site by the government. Okay. And the banning of this 26 social media site এই যিটো 26 social media site টো আছিল এইবিলাকক বেন কৰাৰ মেইন কাৰণটো আছিল যে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে কিছুমান ৰুলছ এণ্ড ৰেগুলেশ্যন দিছিলে তেওঁলোকক ৰেজিষ্টাৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে ওকে for the registration of this 26 or the social media site the government gives some guidelines and aru ei jita 26 ta social media site asile they were failed to register themselves according to the guidelines given by the government ঠিক আছে so government banned them আৰু যদি গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে বেন কৰিলে বেন কৰাৰ লগে লগে তাৰ যিখিনি ইউথ আছিলে ইউথখিনি এটা এলিগেশ্যন লগালে যে গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে যি মানুহৰ যিটো চিটিজেন্সৰ বা ছাবজেক্টছৰ যিটো ফ্ৰীডম অফ স্পীচ আছে okay freedom of speech tak teloke cartel korise by banning this 26 social media site okay and the protest started but the very character of the protest so the character to sound then it is very much violence okay the protest have a very much violative character the protesters said ablaze their parliament house or the seat of the government they also put fire over the private property of the prime minister of the nation okay called OP Sharma Oli and the other opposition's politician also that means it can be summarized that the whole protest is centered against the elite or the political group of the country whether it is in the government or in the opposition ঠিক আছে ইয়াৰ main কাৰণটো কি because there is a accumulation of grievances or accumulations of anger against the political elite of the country because of why because of misgovernance corruption and nepotism okay whatever the report came at the present time these are the main reason of such types of huge violative protests happen in the very country called Nepal okay now due to this violative protest what are the main effect that may be faced by our country because we have sharing border with Nepal amarnu ki osubidha hobo pare ba amarnu ki hobo pare effect ki hobo pare ei protest to garne ki hobo pare so when there is a violative protest again in the very neighboring countries going on then the common people or the people with a fear, they can, migrate, they can, came to our country. There may be have a very mass migration happen. Maybe there is a very mass migration happen to the country where the protest is going on to their neighboring country. And as we all know, that with the Nepalese or with the Nepal people of the Nepal, we have a very strong cultural bond. We have a very strong people to people bond, and therefore it is very easy to understand that there are such types of very bad law and order situation remain in the Nepal for a very long period of time. Then a huge people or huge mass of from the Nepal has to be migrated or will migrated to our country. So when they migrated to our country, what are the effect they may give to our political dimensions, our social dimensions, our economical dimensions? That means there is a fear. There is a fear for the Indian establishment. That means Indian government, okay, or the states that is sharing border with the Nepal in the coming days, okay. তো তারা এটা তোমাৰ আহি থকা সময়ত তেওঁলোকৰ এটা ফেয়াৰ থাকিব যে ইমানখিনি মানুহ যদি আহে আমাৰ কি হ'ব, ইমানখিনি মানুহ যদি আহে আমি কেনেকৈ তাক চম্ভালিম, থাকিব দিম নে নিদিম, হোৱাট উইল বি আৱাৰ ষ্টেন্স in the human rights ground or humanity ground. We have given them the shelter, but in the political ground, if we given a huge amount of people the shelter, it may be have some repercussion also. তো এইবিলাক আমি আহাৰ দিনত দেখা পাই থাকিম, এইবিলাক ডেভেলপমেণ্ট আহাৰ দিনত হৈ থাকিব, ঠিক আছে. So it will remain in our news for the at least upcoming 1 or 2 months. So news থাকিব, ঠিক আছে. Then next one thing in the news which is very much related with our federal or cooperative federalism. ইয়াৰ ওপৰত federalism, or you can say center state relation. Center state relation লগত link থকা এটা news আছে. The news is that the Pradhan Mantri, the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, give a 1,600 crores of relief package to the flood affected Punjab. Okay, yesterday when he visited the Punjab, when he viewed the situation of the Punjab, flood affected, flood prone the Punjab, then by assessing the situations, the grave of the situation, assessing the grave of the situation, he gave a 1,600 crores of relief package to Punjab. Okay, 1,600 crore of relief package to Punjab. ঠিক আছে, এই নিউজটো কি আন্ডাৰ, কি টপিকছৰ আন্ডাৰত আমি পঢ়িব লাগিব? ইট ইজ এ চেন্ট্ৰেল বা চেন্ট্ৰেল ষ্টেট ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপ অৰ দ্য কোঅপাৰেটিভ ফেডাৰেলিজিম. অ'কে, তো ফেডাৰেলিজিম উই অল নো হোৱাট ইজ ফেডাৰেলিজিম, আমি তাত নাযাওঁ এতিয়া. তো 1,600 crore ৰিলিফ পেকেজ এটা পাঞ্জাবক দিছে তো আপোনাৰ আমাৰ চেন্ট্ৰেল গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে আফটাৰ যে প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী মোদীয়ে গোটেই বস্তুটো চালে, গোটেই বস্তুটো এছেচিং কৰিলে, এনালাইজ কৰিলে, দেখিলে যে তাত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আছে, ঠিক আছে. এণ্ড এট দ্য চেম টাইম হি গিভ 1,500 crore relief package to Himachal Pradesh. It is gift to Punjab and it is for the Himachal Pradesh. We all know that in the very recent time these two state of the country was very much affected by the cloud burst, the flash flood, okay, landslide. The mood effect of all. The agriculture is completely devastated in the Punjab, which is one of the leading agricultural productive state of the country. Okay, Himachal Pradesh, which is a Himalayan state, is also affected very badly by the cloud burst, by the flash flood, landslide. We all have seen the pictures which has happened in the very last month, I think, in August, mid of August, in the Dholi-Ganga regions, where the alls are, cleared by the flash flood. আমি সবেই দেখিছো, ঠিক আছে. হিমাচল প্ৰদেশ, এতিয়া আমি ইয়াত এইটো হৈছে এটা অলপ হেৰিয়ৰ কথা, পলিটিৰ কথা, চেণ্টাৰ ষ্টেট ৰিলেশ্যনশ্বিপ এণ্ড কোঅপাৰেটিভ ফেডাৰেলিজিম. তাৰ ফলত দেখি পালা যে কেনেকৈ চেণ্টাৰে, হাউ চেণ্টাৰ গিভ ৰিলিফ অৰ হেল্প ইন দ্য টাইম অফ ক্ৰাইচিছ টু দ্য ষ্টেট, আমি দেখা পালো, ঠিক আছে. At the same time, we also have to learn why these types of very huge flood type situation of flood happen in these two states. Generally, Himachal Pradesh বা অলপমান লেণ্ডশ্লাইড বা ফ্লাড হৈ থাকে, কিন্তু পাঞ্জাবত আমি জেনেৰেলি দেখা নাপাওঁ ফ্লাড হয় ইমান. তো ইয়াতে ফ্লাডটো কিহৰ কাৰণে হ'ল, ঠিক আছে. the main reason of the flood in both the state is climate change. Climate change and unplanned development. Unplanned development and with some human error. This one human error asile. Human error. Okay. Now, how the climate change affect this, flash flood? Can flash flood develop? How this climate change develop these types of, devastating flood? See, due to the climate change, the incident like cloud burst or the flash flood happen very frequently in the Himalayan region. হয় নাই? আমি যদি চাওঁ পাঞ্জাবখন আমি যদি এনেকা দেখাই দিওঁ এখন যদি আমি ইন্ডিয়া বুলি ধৰি লওঁ ওকে ভেৰি ৰাফলি দেন এই পোৰ্শনটো যদি আমি হিমাচল প্ৰদেশ ধৰো আৰু এই পোৰ্শনটো যদি আমি পাঞ্জাব ধৰো ঠিক আছে এইখিনি যদি আমি ধৰো আৰু ইয়াতে গোটেইটো আমাৰ হিমালয় বুলি ধৰো ঠিক আছে সো ইন দ্য হিমালয়ান ৰিজন হোৱাট হেপেন in the Himalayan region the rainfall is usually happen due to the orographic graphic region. That means in the hills or in the very foothills, the rainfall is usually happen due to the orographic region. Now, due to the orographic region and along with some climate change characters happen, what happen? Now, what is orographic region? Suppose this is a hills and this is a plain area. Suppose relatively plain area. Okay. Now, as we all know, when the elevation increases, elevation means that is altitude. When the altitude increases, the temperature is always in decrease. That means when the height from the very surface of the earth is increases, the temperature is automatically decreased due to the, you all know, normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate we all have know that due to the law of second thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is second law to mote, the temperature or the heat is always transformed from hot body to the cold body. I mean, by the second law of thermodynamics, heat is always, transformed from hot area to the cold area by the hot body or the cold body. Now, as the elevation of the plane is lowered compared to the hill areas, this area is comparatively hotter than the higher elevation area. Okay. And therefore, the wind is moved like that. ঠিক আছে এনেকা মুভ কৰিলে ঠিক আছে when the wind is moved like that যেতিয়া এনেকা মুভ কৰি থাকিলে and they are started to going along with the relief of these hills এই যেটো হিলস আছে হিলটো যেটো ৰিলিফ আছে এই ৰিলিফটোৰ along the wind টো ওপৰলৈ উঠিব ধৰিলে and when the wind started elevated along the slope of along the relief of the hills, they become cooler. We all know that our height to bahi jabo, eneru cool hoy goi thaibo due to the normal lapse rate. Normal lapse rate mane ki koise? That when the height is increases by 1 kilometer, the temperature in the troposphere region is decreases by average 6.5 degrees centigrade. মানে প্ৰতি 1 কিলোমিটাৰ যদি আমাৰ হাইটটো উঠি যাও আমি যদি 1 কিলোমিটাৰ ওপৰলৈ উঠি যাও তেতিয়া হলে এভাৰেজলি 6.5 ডিগ্ৰী সেন্টিগ্ৰেড টেম্পারেচার আমি লস কৰি থাকিম ঠিক আছে দ্যাট মিন্স আমাৰ ইয়া যদি থলে 30 ডিগ্ৰী টেম্পারেচার আছে যদি আমি 1 কিলোমিটাৰ ওপৰত যাম 30 বা 6.5 দ্যাট মিন্স 23.5 ডিগ্ৰী সেন্টিগ্ৰেড আমি টেম্পারেচার পাম এভাৰেজ ঠিক আছে তবে যেতিয়া এই উইন্ড টু এয়ার along the উপৰলৈ উঠি হৈ থাকিব along the relief উপৰলৈ উঠি যাব when the winds move along the reliefs higher or elevated upward then it become cool down. And when they cool up, what happen? The very, vapors or very moisture that carried by the wind now become condensed. And when then condensed, they started to form cloud. And the type of this cloud is called cumulonimbus cloud. Nimbus cloud. But due to the climate change, what happened? The temperature of the plane or temperature of the surface temperature in the earth is increases, হয় নাই? আমি সবে জানো ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ হোৱাৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো বাঢ়িব লৈছে, আৰু যেতিয়া টেম্পাৰেচাৰটো বাঢ়িব লৈছে, এই যিটো তোমাৰ উইণ্ডৰ মুভমেণ্ট, the movement of this wind is become faster, and when the movement of the become faster, wind become faster, what happen? When the cloud started to downpour, যেতিয়া তোমাৰ ক্লাউডটো কনডেন্স হৈ পেলাই তাৰ যে ৱেটটো বাঢ়ি যাব, তাৰ যে তোমাৰ ৱাটাৰ ভেপাৰটো দে আৰ কনভাৰ্টেড টু লিকুইড, ঠিক আছে, যেতিয়া ৱেটটো বাঢ়ি যাব সি তলত আহিব ধৰিব, বাট ডিউ টু দ্য ascending of the winds, this cloud cannot came or the condensed cloud cannot came down, okay, তললৈ আহিব নোৱাৰে, আকৌ সি ওপৰলৈ গুচি যাব, এই বস্তু চলি থাকিব, আৰু এটা টাইম এনেকৈ আহি যাব যদি হিউজ ক্লাউড, এটা বহুত ডাঙৰ ক্লাউড ইয়াত ফৰ্ম হৈ যাব, and all the water vapor, all the moisture that is that is holding by this cloud came down at the very same time, ঠিক আছে, এটা সময়তে গোটেইখিনি তলত নামি গুচি আহিব, এটা সময়তে তলত নামি আহিবই, হয় নাই, যেতিয়া তোমাৰ ইয়াত উইণ্ডটো কমিব বা যেতিয়া ৱেটটো বহুত বাঢ়ি যাব তলত নামি আহিবই, আৰু যেতিয়া ই তলত নামি আহিব একেলগে গোটেই ৱাটাৰটো তলত নামি গুচি আহিব, বা ৱাটাৰ হোৱাট এভাৰ কনডেন্স ইন দ্য ক্লাউড, হোৱাট এভাৰ ইন দ্য ক্লাউড যেতিয়া তললৈ নামি গুচি আহিব, তেতিয়া এটা ক্লাউড ব্ৰাছ বুলি কয়, ডেট মিনছ দ্য ক্লাউড poured rain very heavily at a very same time, ঠিক আছে, আৰু যেতিয়াই ইয়াতে তোমাৰ বহুত হেভি ৱাটাৰ, তোমাৰ হেভি এমাউণ্টত বৰষুণ হ'ব ডিউ টু দ্য ক্লাউড ব্ৰাছ, when the rainfall is very huge due to the cloud burst, flood হৈ যাব ইয়াত, ঠিক আছে, আৰু এই গোটেইবিলাক আহি পেলাই ক'ত যাব, প্লেনত গুচি যাব, প্লেনত গৈ পাঞ্জাব আৰু এইবিলাক এৰিয়াত তোমাৰ ফ্লাড কৰি দিছে এইবাৰ, ঠিক আছে, চ' দিছ ইজ দ্য ভেৰি ৰিজন অফ দিছ ফ্লাড, ঠিক আছে। তো আমি ইয়াত কি শিকিলো, we learn about orographic rainfall. There are three types of rainfall, na? There are three reasons why the rainfall happen. One is called orographic, another one is called convectional rainfall, and the last one is called cyclonic rainfall. ঠিক আছে? These are the main three types due to three cause due to why the rainfall happen. This is the another news in today's newspaper, okay, that means from this news we can know about something or some relation of center and state or our cooperative federalism. We have know some concept about geography, how the rainfall happens, what are the cloud bursts we very frequently heard in the news today's time, how in the cloud burst the climate change affected, ঠিক আছে, so এইবিলাক আমি শিকি ললো। Next one, yesterday our governor Lakshman Prasad Acharya, that means the governor of Assam, Lakshman Prasad Acharya, inaugurated the BIMSTEC Youth Leader Summit 2025. Inaugurated BIMSTEC Youth Leaders Summit 2025. Okay, Youth Leader Summit 2025, and this summit was organized by Bharat Scout and Guides. So it's a spleen to one seven. Scout and Guides. Scouts and Guides and Ministry of External Affairs. Okay. So this is a very part of BIMSTEC. This is a very part of BIMSTEC where the youth leaders are groomed. They are groomed by some, some very, experienced persons in this types of, summit. It a BIMSTEC manano ki. The very full form of BIMSTEC is Bay of Bengal Initiative for the Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Bay of Bengal Initiative for the Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay. And in the BIMSTEC, it is a, regional grouping. Actually, the BIMSTEC is nothing but is a regional grouping. That means the countries from the Southeast Asia and some countries from the Southeast Asia. Remember it. South Asia and Southeast Asia. But in both the regions, some countries are coming together for their cooperations for the development in the technical, economical, cultural, in some other, space or dimension. এই গোটেই dimension বিলাকত তেওঁলোকে একেলগে there become a collaborative development হ'ব কাৰণে এই BIMSTEC প্লেটফৰ্মটো বনাইছিলে. Now, there are 7 countries. 7 countries in the BIMSTEC. BIMSTECত 7টা country আছে. 5 from South Asia. And these countries are, we all know, India, Bangladesh, okay, then Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Nepal. These are the 5 countries from the South Asian region, and there are 2 countries from Southeast Asia region. Southeast Asia region. And these 2 countries are Myanmar and Thailand. Myanmar and Thailand. And the BIMSTEC was established in, I think, it was established in 1997 by the Bangkok Declaration. It was established in 1997 by Bangkok Declaration. Okay, Bangkok Declaration. ঠিক আছে? And the headquarters of BIMSTEC is in Dhaka. Now, what is the importance of BIMSTEC for the India's perspective? Because see, as we all know, at the present time, the SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, okay, is completely in obsolete position. So, BIMSTEC is an alternative of SARC, where India finds some, space to, collaborate with the countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, or such types of countries. Or India make its aspirations to become a global leader for the global South. এতিয়া তুমি যেতিয়া গ্লোবেল সাউথৰ লিডাৰ হ'ব পাবা, যেতিয়া আমি সবেই জানো ন, PM Modi very frequently talk about the India's position, or PM Modi try to position India as a leader of global South. When you become a leader of the global South, you should first become a leader of in your own region. Then only you can observe yourself as the leader of the world. হয় নাই? তো ইণ্ডিয়া যেতিয়া ৱৰ্ল্ডৰ লিডাৰ হ'ব যাব, তাক প্ৰথমে ৰিজনেল লিডাৰ হ'ব লাগিব. আৰু টু বিকাম এ ৰিজনেল লিডাৰ ইন হিজ ওন ৰিজন, BIMSTEC is the platform. BIMSTEC is the platform which provide enough space to deal with his regional partners. ঠিক আছে? So BIMSTEC সেইকাৰণে বহুত বেছি important for the India's perspective, because at the present time, the SARC, that means SARC জানা ন সবে? SAARC, South Asian Associations for Regional Cooperation. This institute or this platform or this grouping is the present time is completely obsolete, because at the SARC, the country called Pakistan is also a member. And the relations between India and Pakistan we all know. Okay, because their policy of, giving freedom or giving heaven-like situations for the terrorism, the Pakistan's policy of providing, freedom for the terrorism, India does not, or India could not find a space or could not, remain in that area where India can cooperate with the Pakistan. কৰিব নোৱাৰে. আৰু India try to completely sideline the Pakistans. Okay, তাৰ কাৰণে এই SARCত India participate নকৰা, SARC become obsolete. Okay, and SARCৰ এতিয়া alternative হিচাপে BIMSTEC আহি আছে. ঠিক আছে? BIMSTEC এটা প্লেটফৰ্ম দিছে. So it is the important for the India to become the regional leader of its region, so that it can observe its leadership in the world perspective also. ঠিক আছে? So this is very important. And these are the main, news which we have discussed today. And thank you for all. Thank you.